Okay, so how can we tell if our narcissistic partner has another lover? There are usually some pretty good signs, or let me rephrase it as the writing is on the wall in many cases if you really want to see it. These are some of the observations that I have made in my relationship with narcissists and my clients' relationships with their narcissists. The narcissist will start to withdraw and they become very emotionally distant. They will withhold love and affection, and if you attempt to engage in any kind of physical contact, and not even in a sexual way, they will recoil from your touch. A very clear sign of rejection of your love and also your affection. They become hyper vigilant around the protection of their communication devices by installing new passwords. If at all their phone is left on the table, if ever, the screen would be facing down, and they're usually taking it all around the house with them, hardly ever leaving it out on the charger, just long enough to charge it up, taking it to the bathroom, everywhere with them. They very often become less interested in sexual relations with you. But if it does happen, it becomes a very cold and degrading mechanical experience. The very things that they proclaimed to love in the bedroom are now causing them to sigh in contempt and with this gross display of dissatisfaction in your performances. Nothing seems to work anymore at this stage. Again, they will take their phone with them to the bathroom, never ever leaving it exposed. That shower or toilet break usually takes forever. There will be messages and phone calls that will be coming in at odd times, and they will seem very anxious to reply back instantly. They will want to get to the phone and reply to the message very quickly. They could have a sudden interest in joining a gym. They might suddenly be into a new genre of music, a new diet regime, a change of wardrobe. This is a great example of the narcissist mirroring the possible new source of supply. There will be that one person on social media who receives only positive comments and many, many likes from your narcissistic partner. Sudden and very dramatic changes of things like religion without you being consulted as a courtesy. Again, this is the narcissist mirroring the new person. The texts that you receive have become very short, very cold, uninspiring, and scarce, and the amount of time that lapses before your messages are replied to increases significantly, if they even reply at all. They become less interested in your company, hence the cold and disrespectful cancellation of appointments, dinner dates, whatever, with you. And you become less of a priority and an annoyance to the narcissist, and it becomes more and more apparent. They will pick fights with you unnecessarily, and I call this a destination fight, as a way to justify leaving the house to go meet up with a new supply to cheat on you. They become more elusive, and at this point they obviously have many, 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 many secrets and lies to protect. The disrespect from the narcissist becomes the order of the day, and they will employ even more contempt, harsh criticism, sarcasm, and their level of stonewalling becomes magnified exponentially. They go on secret vacations, and you accidentally discover, like, say, a boarding pass, or and you get an email from like a travel agency, and their explanation of events and the despicable behaviors will leave you dumbfounded, while when confronted, they will absolutely shift the blame over to you and become very defensive. They have a social media page where none of your pictures together, including your wedding photos possibly, or you alone, exist. They exhibit no interest in befriending you on this particular page, and they claim that it's only for their professional career, and some claim that they're not on social media at all when they actually are. And you are kept in the dark about their plans, and they have become deceitful. And in fact, at this point, all of your future plans and discussions have ceased from the narcissist side. You will discover things that you would never expect. So as it gets worse, they start to lie with even the smallest details in an attempt to throw you off balance if they believe that you are onto them. Your higher self, or your intuition, your gut instinct, it will absolutely reveal this to you. You will sense it. You will know that something is totally off. Never ignore that, because it's always right. And in the case of you living together, then you will understand from their patterns of coming and going that they will suddenly have more excuses, and they are very weak and confusing explanations and excuses of their need to spend more time out without you. Your psychological and emotional health will deteriorate as you become more and more suspicious, looking for evidence that you may possibly never find. But my advice is that that gut feeling, your intuition screaming at you, is enough. You begin to question your sanity because of the gaslighting. They will start to violate your boundaries purposely in order to show you that they do not care about how you feel or how you will feel if you find out about the affair. And they will start to devalue every aspect of your life, your academic achievements, your profession, your principles, values, manners, hobbies, your friends and your family, the way you dress, the way you walk. Nothing is okay about you at this point. They suddenly want to visit a friend of theirs, which has never been mentioned to you before. You've never heard of this person. And if you express curiosity about this new friend, they either label you as very intrusive or paranoid, or the subject will be changed altogether, or they could rage out completely to try to take your attention elsewhere. And this new friend seems to take priority over all of your plans together. The very sweet nickname or pet name that they used for you in the beginning of your relationship gradually disappears, and you are now being called by your first name. And to some, this may not seem like that big of a deal, but a lot of you will understand what I'm talking about. When you question this change, you will be met with a disheartening response to shut you down. Complimenting you for anything at this stage becomes a mammoth task for them, no matter how much you try to make yourself look better, and try to save your relationship or your marriage. And they start to care even less about what is happening in your daily life. They're not asking about how your day was, how you are doing or feeling in general as their spouse or partner. emotionally, physically, financially, spiritually. They will at times blatantly devalue your entire marriage, and there will be unreasonable and unfair comparisons to certain couples. And this is a mind game deliberately designed by them not to have remorse for betraying you. And they will start to unleash unwarranted anger, rage towards you, hypersensitivity to trivial things that they perceive that you have done or said. Possibly you may not even said anything. They could try to say that you inferred something that you didn't, and you will notice that some of the people in your circle of friends will start to suddenly become cold towards you due to that smear campaign. Your reputation is already tarnished and you don't even know it yet. And the narcissist's lack of empathy is blatant. No constructive talks with you would be welcomed at this stage, as they just want to show you that you do not mean anything to them in their life. And the whole relationship dynamic would start to be so confusing for you, because this is definitely not the person that you fell deeply in love with. And you will feel a very deep sense of loneliness. Even though you have a partner in your life, you may be sleeping next to somebody every night, but paradoxically you feel, more alone than you would if you were actually alone. And you will start to crave, you'll have a longing for solitude, as this relationship only fills your heart and soul with excruciating pain. If you are not out at this point, your body begins to break down due to the stress and the cognitive dissonance. You are confused, you are physically sick, you feel like an empty shell, you have no self-esteem, no confidence. You will begin to struggle to have any kind of sleep or rest. You can't eat. Your eating habits will either decrease or increase. You will develop serious trust issues, possibly paranoia. They will start demanding that you use protection during lovemaking out of the blue, and yet you know very well that as per your plans, like say the two of you may have been trying to conceive a child, and suddenly this comes up. And their behavior is just all around bizarre. They will deliberately provoke you in order to elicit these reactions from you and then blame you whenever you react accordingly. And this is not an exhaustive list, but I am hoping that you can gain some perspective on the nature of your own relationship if ever some suspicions or doubts start to emerge about your partner. And I am wishing you the best. I wouldn't wish this on anybody, because I've gone through, this comes from mainly my experience with my narcissist and how it happened with me. And I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. And I wish you the best, and hopefully nothing unacceptable is happening in your relationship. Hey guys, if you would like to donate to Narcissistic Abuse 101, get people in need some free coaching, help out with the production of my book, live speaking events, so much cool stuff that I have going on, feel free to push the PayPal link in my bio. And to those of you who have donated already and been so generous, thank you so much.